Hello, this is Brenda Weber in ST-135 Surgical OR Theory, and this is the week 1 assignment. Now I'm going to post this as a photo, but I wanted to make sure that you could read and see the project. So the first thing I did was the shadow is my OR layout. And I've started with the suction machine, the infusion station. I tried to put everything on the side where the OR tech are right outside the surgical field. The back table is number 4. The OR tech stands are number 3. And I put those there because I wanted to show that this Mayo stand that's number 7, this is where I'd put the instruments that I'd first start the procedure with. So I'd use the initial instruments and place them on that Mayo stand that's covered in the drape. I have on number 4, just to go back a second, there's a ring stand, a single ring stand, and that was for introducing new surgical items into the sterile field. On number 5, that's the kick bucket, and that's just where sponges will be disposed of and then later counted by the surgical tech and the circulating nurse. Here is the ring stands. I used a double for this case. One would be for soiled instruments and the other would be to moisten sponges. Then going over, because we did 7, 8, hard to see the number, but it's the actual OR bed, the surgical bed used to secure patients and position them in the best way to give the surgeon access. And then there would be, let me get up there, 9, the OR surgical lights that are considered non-sterile. So they're disposable handles, you can see the little blue, for them to be repositioned by the surgeon or the surgeon's assistant. And then moving up to the head of the patient, this is going to be the anesthesiologist workstation, so it's the anesthesia station. And this is where the gases are piped in to make sure that the patient is unconscious, that ventilation is secured, and that that the anesthesiologist can monitor the patient while they're still under to make sure they're not in any pain or anything like that. Then I'm going to move, I'm so sorry, I got a dry voice. Moving over, just outside the sterile area, this is where the anesthesiologist assistant would be. And this workstation contains the medications that they'll use, which you'll see the monitor that's connected to the pharmacy. So everything is counted, scanned, and inventory as they go along. And then the assistant documents and reloads the machines as needed, but they're outside of the sterile zone. After that, I'm a little backwards here, but here are my, sorry, again, dry voice, surgical waste receptacles. So the red is for biohazard, blood, body fluids, things like that, and it's disposed of as regulated waste. The second one, I don't know if you can see it any better, is a linen. So for soiled linens, that would be like if a patient voided or threw up, that would be in a waterproof bag and then placed inside of a plastic bag to be taken down and serviced. And this last one is for single-use disposable sponges, linens, things like that that can't be re-sterilized but have not been used. Right. Going over, there is the nurse's workstation, that's 13. This is where the circulating room nurse does all the documentation, keeps an eye on the sponge count and the needle count, and assists with introducing sterile items into the sterile field. And I just had a couple of little notes. This one area would be the surgical clock, and the clocks are synchronized through the hospital, but in the OR, it's a clock plus a countdown timer, so you know how long the procedure is going on. So I thought that was interesting. And then a storage cabinet that could be used to house linens, a warming cabinet for your blankets and fluids if that's something that's needed, and also just to house miscellaneous items. Okay, so now I'm going to go up, and this is what I just talked about, but I wanted you to be able to see it. Sorry about the shadow. But I wasn't quite sure how you would be able to read this, so I'm going to post this video. Make sure you can see everything. And then I had my references. Most of the items came from STERIS. Okay. And here we go. Just my name. And one final shot. So this is my DIY OR.